Hi, it's Jay from Iridescent Tarot, back with some more sparkle for you. I'm actually unsparkled today because I am so excited to open this deck that I think for the first time on the history of my channel, do not have nail polish on. I just have a base coat because I was preparing my nails to paint them. And then I heard the mailman come in and I was like, nope, I'm opening this now. The nails can wait. So, yeah, if that's not the clearest indication of like my level of excitement over this deck, then I don't know what would be. So this is the Crystal Keys Tarot, created by Dina Rosenberg with artwork by Amalia Drews. And I first saw this deck on Elena, Mermaid's Dream Tarot's Instagram. She posted a picture and I was just like, stop the press. What is that? Where can I get it? I just, like, there was reptilian brain kicked in and I was like, need. And I mean, you guys know me. I talk a lot about like how much I spend time thinking about decks before I bring them in. And this was just like an immediate, no questions asked, I'm getting this deck. Let's just read the back here. Deepen and enhance your personal insight with this stunning deck that fuses traditional tarot wisdom with the transformative energy and power of crystals. Anchored in the tradition of the RWS deck, Crystal Keys Tarot pairs the symbolism of the cards with the colorful imagery of powerful crystals from all over the world. Each card, beautifully rendered as if seemingly carved from the stone itself, echoes the energy, aura, and texture of a crystal specifically chosen to match the card's archetype and imagery. And so, as you'll see, this is like one of the only people in the deck, and that was a huge major selling point to me. It's got a nice ribbon, pull-out ribbon. We've got the lock with the key here, and this beautiful deck made by Wiser, which I don't think I have any other Wiser decks. Red Wheel Wiser. Now this deck isn't even released yet. It's, I think, due to come out in April. When I saw Elena's post and then so I begged her to do a walkthrough because I was like, I need to see more of this deck immediately. And she very kindly made that video at my request, so thank you. She was sent the deck early from the publisher, and I was like, I cannot wait however many weeks to get this deck, like I need to find a way. So Dina, the deck's creator, has a witchy shop called the Amityville Apothecary in New York, and they have copies of the deck available for sale already. And actually the copies that come from her shop are signed. So I purchased this off her website, and I hope that more of the funds go to her as the creator since I bought it from her shop versus buying a big box store. The cards themselves are standard tarot size. So here's comparison to the Blue Earth Tarot, same size. And I'm pretty sure the cardstock is very similar to this deck as well. So once I shuffle, I can confirm. But it feels like nice matte cardstock. And also look at this absolutely stunning gilding. Like I'm really glad that I like the deck itself because this would have been a selling point for me regardless. The backs, I feel like, could have been a little bit more involved with the theme. Like, for example, I would have really loved to see like a fractal, like the sun card, except incorporating all the different colors from the deck, something like that on the back. Or just this plain purpley dark background without the suits. Like, I don't necessarily need that, and it makes it so that the cards are not reversible. So now that we're up close, we can see that the cards here have the title and then also the name of a crystal that's associated. And I'm just gonna flip through and chat about some of the things that I have discovered about this deck in my flurry of research that I was doing because I was so excited about this deck. The creator Dina has done a handful of interviews, and so a lot of the things that she discussed in those interviews were huge selling points for me, being somebody interested in the deck. This is, I think, one of the only cards that has a face in it. It's the cover of the guidebook as well. I almost wish that we didn't have such a clear face in this card because it's so disjointed from the rest of the cards, not having any figures that have faces. Like here we have figures, but you don't see any kind of face on them. And I love this card. I couldn't tell from the walkthroughs how beautiful exactly the artwork was going to be, but it's truly, truly stunning. And in person just shines. But one of the things that I like about this deck is that Dina had talked about how she didn't just like write a list of the tarot cards and then write a list of the crystals and then do like draw lines between them, cross matching them. She really spent a lot of time deciding which crystal would go with each of the cards. And I believe she said that took about a year-long process. This card, unbelievably stunning. I love the focus on the Hermit's lamp here because that is the detail in the Hermit card that many of us kind of are drawn to. And so here we get to focus on that element in this. Again, like a beautiful kind of option for the back side of the card. There was just a really synchronistic story and kismet between the creator and the artist. And if you want to hear more about that, I think there were like 3 different interviews on YouTube that I watched where Dina goes into just that history that I really enjoyed. She talked about how after they met, they started working together. They were going to originally independently publish this deck, which is probably why I like it so much. Like, it's got those indie vibes where you have this creator of the deck and the guidebook and the creator of the artwork that are really integrated hand in hand, creating this deck from this like deep place of mutual understanding of what the goal is to be, which apparently is kind of a uncommon way to approach a publisher, to like already have your artist. And to me, it just, I don't know, it's got that like handcrafted, hand-created feel that I like in my decks, despite being a mass market deck. So it was very exciting to me to hear that. The World card. Beautiful. Like, it looks like a real crystal. It looks like something that you could pick up off the card and hold in your hand. So as you can see, there are nods to the RWS. I believe they said on every card. I think the only one they didn't have a nod to that they talked about was possibly, this is all from memory, but the Devil card. And I love this card. This is giving Black Mirror. This is giving look at your own reflection. This is giving like gripping onto of the obsidian. What a fantastic weaving in of the meaning of the Devil card with the meaning of the crystal. This is what gets me excited about tarot. Like, this is it. 2 things that I wanted to comment on the majors before we moved on is this card reminds me so much of those hidden magic eye optical illusion posters or pictures that you'd look at and you would see one thing, but then if you like changed the focus of your eyeball, you'd see the other thing. Like in real life, that's exactly how this kind of functions in my eyes. And then the Strength card, one of the things that I really liked about this is the reversal of, we usually see the woman who is controlling the lion, you know, reaching into the lion's mouth and being the force that is temperate in that strength and control. And here we have the lion that's exhibiting its gentle strength by not crushing the flower. And I just think that's a beautiful role reversal and very different way to see the card. And I really love that. So I've also heard that there are specific color themes to the suits. So here we have the wand suit that's looking very fiery red. We've got the swords here that are all different shades of beautiful blue, kind of blue grays. The cups were the only one that I didn't really see continuity in the theming. We've got like some beautiful rainbowy colors, but then a little bit of green and pink. So it's giving heart chakra. And then the pentacles here are earthy greens and browns. So a little bit more continuity than the cups, but a little more variegation than the wands and swords. Love that we don't have any renaming of any of the elements here, whether it's the suits or the quartz or anything. There is a little bit of excitement to discover in the quartz where all of the pages have 2 hands, all of the knights have a horse, all of the queens are a throne, and then all of the kings are a crown. And in chatting with Amalia, the illustrator, she also shared with me that each suit has an animal paired with its court cards. So the wands have lizards. They all have a lizard on them. The cups have fish. The swords have butterflies. And the pentacle has rabbits. And I was chatting with her because I wanted to know exactly what this kind of artwork was, because it was hard to tell from walkthroughs, like, what is the medium? Is it digital art? How is it created? And so she said it's digital art that's a collage of crystal photographs and images brought into Procreate. Then she hand drew the elements, shading, and highlights to make it look three-dimensional. She said it was a very long process, but that it was worth the results. Totally agree. Beautiful artwork and just a lot to look at. There's nods to RWS, like here's the bandage. And I just think it's so unique and cool and different and beautiful, beautiful artwork. My most favorite suit. And in tarot, but like in this deck, this Ace of Cups is what sold me. Like, is this not iridescent tarot in a card? That, and there's a couple others in the cups that are just absolutely mind-bogglingly beautiful. And I was so glad that I liked the rest of the deck because, like, look at this iridescent tarot. I was so glad that I liked the rest of the deck because of how much I loved these cup cards. This card, I couldn't tell in the walkthrough how much I would love it. In person, it's astonishing. I love that we included a couple other non-crystal elements like the abalone shell. I love this pink opal card. This is just such a beautiful rendition of the Eight of Cups. I love it. And then 10 of Cups. Obviously, Page of Cups. I want a print of this for my wall. I love it. Okay, here we have our swords. I like how this, you can see the RWS in these images, and I really like that, but without the people. This one might be the least RWS-y in the pips that I've seen so far. And I'm excited to go through the guidebook and just read about how all these crystals are connected to the cards that they've been assigned to, how they work together, how I can work with the crystals that I have once I do readings. Like, how can I use them to then incorporate the reading into my life? I think that's just such a cool concept. And I also like the idea that, like, I don't need these crystals. Like, I don't plan to go out and buy more crystals because I have the energy of the crystal in the card and I can work with that. Like, it's actual images of actual crystals. So I think that's really cool as well. All right, moment of truth. We all know how picky I am with cardstock. It's a little bit sharp. So I didn't expect to be able to bridge it. I thought I was just going to be able to riffle it, but you can bridge too. Nice. The edges, the gilding does have that little bit of sharp texture to it, but the bendiness of the cards is more than I thought it would be. Like, I don't bridge my Blue Earth Tarot, so. Yeah, the crystal keys is a little bit more flexible, but thickness-wise, it's just about the same. Okay. Let's see how the overhand is. Lovely. This deck is a masterclass in making a mass market deck that feels like an indie in both, you know, production quality, but also in the quality of the actual deck itself. Imagery, guidebook, like conceptually, this deck is 10 out of 10. Like, they did a fantastic job. Six of Pentacles, green calcite. If you're from a Western Judeo-Christian background, the adage, it's better to give than to receive, may be instilled in you from birth. So many of us have been programmed by this tenet that the idea of receiving a gift, quote, unearned, is downright horrifying. It's taken the better part of my adult life to learn how to receive a gift gracefully instead of with suspicion. The Six of Pentacles speaks to the cycle of giving and receiving. In life, there's an infinite loop of receiving the bounty that the universe has to offer and playing a part in the distribution of that bounty. As a suit, the Pentacles are about material abundance, and as humans, so much of our waking life is spent consumed with, well, the acquisition and consumption of materiality. Okay, calling me out for wanting this deck so much. Working in a witchy shop every day, I'm constantly asked, how do I bring material wealth and abundance into my life? An important part of the manifestation question is becoming open to receiving. Oftentimes, the universe answers our prayers for abundance in ways we're least expecting. A helping hand out of the blue, a gift from a friend, a generous offer. While many of us understand that abundance and material wealth are energy, we play a very real part in the flow of that energy from one person to the next. The message of the Six of Pentacles is to allow that flow to happen, regardless of what position you happen to be in at the time of the reading, giver or receiver. Green calcite brings movement and fluidity to the ebb and flow of giving and receiving. For many of us, receiving feels uncomfortable and unnatural. Feelings of inferiority may arise when receiving. Green calcite restores balance to any uncomfortable emotions that may be present in an exchange of abundance. Affirmation: I open my heart to the sacred dance of giving and receiving. As I accept with gratitude, I honor the cycle of generosity. In a reading, balance, giving, receiving, charity, generosity. Green calcite brings movement and fluidity to the ebb and flow of giving and receiving. So I like how that quote at the end is the tie-in between the tarot and the crystal. I really like that they pulled that out so that you can, if you're not trying to read, a whole write-up on anything, you can just look and see what is the connection. Like, why is this card green calcite? Wonderful. Cool. Okay, so let's say you want to work with a specific crystal. You can just find the crystal on this guide and then turn to that page and find, like, you can do a lot with that, because you could just like reach into your bag of crystals, grab something out, and then that's part of your reading. Yeah, there's just like, my mind is spinning with different ways that you could use this. I'm so glad they pulled this out so you can use it this way. This feels like a phoenix, just like blasting through thick tumultuousness. This one's so trippy. You can feel the pain of that card. I love the focus on colors as well. I think Dina had mentioned she did incorporate a little bit of chakra into the color selections. Man, these multicolored ones get me. I almost just want to pull out all my favorites and lay all of those out so you can see the reason that I'm the reason that I wanted this so much. I really have oh, and one of the other things that Dina talks a lot about is how the inspiration for this deck was how she, all of a sudden one day, it sounded like one of those shower thoughts where she's like, the tower and Moldavite are this. And then that's like the conception for the whole deck. And I totally agree. I think that's such a keen observation. And yeah, this I really love. You can see the guy from the Four of Pentacles in RWS in this image. You can see him. So here are my favorites. These are the reasons that I bought this deck. But it's not an accurate representation of the color palette. As you can see, these are all some of the darker or more solid colors. They're beautiful as well. But this Chef's Kiss, these are the reasons. This is why I'm here, folks. This is why I'm here. Anyways, that was a lot of fun. I'm so glad to have this deck. I'm so excited to start reading with it. I'm so glad to Elena for posting that original picture. I would have had no idea about this deck in the first place. And I will talk to you later. Signing out.